Thanks for clicking on the Travel is Real channel. Enjoy this episode highlight and remember to like and do work on that subscribe button. In this segment, Neus describes how becoming a yoga teacher almost killed her. In addition to that, she has a creepy crawly story that, as she puts it, is the cherry on top of her sickness and anguish.
So I decided to come back to Southeast Asia, to go to Thailand, and I enrolled myself during 3 months almost in a mindful recovery center called New Life Foundation.
Say again?
New Life Foundation.
Okay.
And it's a recovery center based on Buddhist principles, run by Buddhist monks, and they are also your coaches. So it was like a volunteering experience because I was also working there. We were all working there.
So does this organization help people not only with eating disorders but other type of maybe disorders as well?
Yeah, it was more a mental recovery center.
Okay.
It was people recovering from addiction, but that they were already clean.
But they're clean. Okay.
Yeah, so because they want to work with your mind. Of course, if you are suffering from that addiction, you are not really responsible of your mind. So they want you to be fully present, to really experience this growth. And it's a community-based center in the basis of compassion, kindness. So for starting to cultivate that on your own, you have to be in a very recovery mental space. Yeah, you need to be fully conscious of what you are going through and really wanting to recover.
Yep.
So yeah, that was the beginning of my journey. I had amazing Buddhist monks that were my coach, and that's when my self-compassion and self-love started. And it was definitely the beginning of my recovery. I've never felt, I don't know how to say it. It was the place in earth I felt more safe and protected and...
Than anywhere else?
Yeah.
Would you say it saved your life?
Yeah, I always, because it's called New Life Foundation, I always say it's the beginning of my new life. And it definitely was.
Shout out to that organization.
Yeah.
Man.
So yeah, that started my journey. I spent there 3 months. And because I was in a better mental space, I decided that was the moment to go and do my yoga teacher training.
Right on.
So here we are
and
now.
Here we are. No, there's a lot going on before that. Or in between.
Yeah. An adventure, definitely. So I decided to do my yoga teacher training in the best place that you can do it, in the birthplace of yoga, that is India.
India.
Yeah.
And where in India?
Specifically in Rishikesh.
Rishikesh.
Yeah, that's where all the Indian Vedic and ancient texts were found and where all the yoga teachers started.
So when you were back in Spain and you realized that you wanted to become a yoga teacher, you're just like...
Barcelona is too boring.
Yeah, we're just like, fuck, I'm learning in Barcelona. I want to do this right. I'm going to go to the birthplace. I'm going to go to OG yoga.
Definitely.
Original yoga.
If a yoga teacher training is easy, I was like, yeah, let's just do it in India, right?
Of course, sure.
That was the best decision I could take because I not only experienced the, of course, physical side of yoga, but also the spiritual.
And everything else that living in Rishikesh brings.
Yeah, as they told me, welcome to India.
Of course they did.
So yeah, I started in Rishikesh.
Okay.
I have the 500-hour yoga teacher training, but I divided the courses in two, the 200-hour and the 300-hour.
Oh, okay.
So I did the 200-hour one in Rishikesh, and Because of my level of yoga, I have to say it was pretty easy, the yoga part, but not the living part.
Not the living in India part?
No, not
Kinda-
exactly.
Added a more difficult element to everything?
Yeah, it made the yoga teacher training more interesting.
I can imagine.
So,
Like what? Let me just give us some examples.
like the food, and I don't know how to introduce it. Like how can I say it?
The food was different.
The food was different, but you have to be very careful.
With what you eat.
Yeah, so
And-
after that I learned a rule: cook it, peel it, or leave it.
Cook it, peel it, or leave it.
Yeah.
And then probably for me, you might not want to say this, but for me, never trust a fart.
True.
True.
So yeah, I was just walking. Got hungry, and I was, a fruit stall. I will just buy an apple.
Of course.
But I didn't peel it. My fault. After that, I was 1 whole week with diarrhea. At the beginning, it was just, okay, I will take some medicine, but it didn't stop.
No.
After the 3rd day, I was starting to get a little bit worried. Not only because of the diarrhea and because nothing stayed in my body. I was only eating white rice for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Oh, that sucks.
But also the 4 hours of yoga a day didn't help.
I can't imagine.
So yeah, that was pretty hard. In 1 week, I lost almost 3 kilos.
So that's wildly unhealthy. And then also, you can become like severely dehydrated from diarrhea
definitely.
like that.
Definitely.
Like, it's no joke.
No, definitely. I was starting to feel very lethargic, very, depressed, and without energy. I was just, at the end, just crying the whole day, staying in bed. I couldn't do anything. So after the 7th day, I asked the management, I want to go to the hospital.
Were you just like, I might die. This yoga is great. I'm loving the yoga, but I may just die.
Yeah. So I asked them, please just take me to the hospital. And they were like, yeah, let's go. And then they took me to an Ayurveda clinic. That is natural healing with herbs. And I really respect that. But at that point, I was like, no, just take me to the fucking hospital. I just want something in my vein to stop going to the toilet.
Yeah. I want some drugs. I want pharmaceuticals. I want a doctor in a white lab coat kind of hospital.
Yeah, I want something serious. But the hospital there was not really serious.
Well, yeah.
They started to put, things on my vein, but around me was like all full of needles and blood. And I was like, okay, or I will die of diarrhea, or I will die for this. I don't know.
Oh.
But I was quite desperate. So I was like, just go.
Just do whatever.
Yeah.
Just put whatever in there.
So they put something in my blood. I don't even know what it is. And I got some medicines. And then that night we went back to the place that we were staying. And I remember that was the cherry on top of the pie. So I remember that night being in bed and something started tickling my leg. And I was like, oh, okay, what's that? Maybe just a body sensation.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2 things start tickling my legs. And I'm like, oh no, not what I am thinking of.
Yeah.
I tried to avoid it for some minutes, but it didn't stop. I opened the sheets and 3 big cockroaches running around my legs, around my bed. So I was like, fuck. I tried to kill them. And think that I didn't know cockroaches can bite.
What?
Yeah. So I tried to kill one with my fist and she was quite angry.
Resilient?
Yeah.
You pissed her off?
Yeah, so she bit it on my finger and I started to bleed. And I was like, fuck, my immune system now is low. I'm just going to die from diarrhea or die from the cockroach bite.
Cockroach rabies?
Yeah. So that was...
Death by cockroach. I had no idea that cockroaches could bite, let alone draw blood.
Yeah. And it was painful. And I was like, yeah, I'm just feeling all the diseases entering my blood.
Man, that would bum me out. I would be so sad if a cockroach bit me. Can I ask, did the cockroach get away or did you kill it after it bit you?
I killed it.
Good.
Of course, I definitely did. Now,
You can't let it go away.
no, that
You can't
was
let it go away after that.
Yeah. Now that was a personal issue,
Oh, yeah.
you know? That become personal.
You gotta set a precedent to the other cockroaches. You fucking bite me, that's what you get.
Yeah.
Never again.
So I won. I'm alive.
I can't even fucking imagine just being in the hospital in a foreign country. Actually, I've been there before, but in a more developed country. But it's still weird when you don't understand the language and you got nurses and doctors and you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
You don't know the cleanliness practices. And I'm just,
You don't know them.
It's very
and-
uncomfortable.
Yeah, and you can see that they are not as your standards.
No. Yeah, and I can imagine India being not up to standard. No, I think India's great. But yeah, so there's some hospitals that are a bit different. But they must have done a good job
Yeah.
because you're alive. Even after the fact, you got bit by a cockroach. Maybe it was the shit that they put in your arm made you so resilient to the cockroach bite that you're here today.
Thanks for watching, and remember to check out more videos from this channel. And also, don't forget to check out the whole podcast on iTunes, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app. And don't forget to like and subscribe.